Good afternoon, welcome to Port Melbourne. Not exactly spring weather, but the finals are with us. The VFA 92 final series about to get underway with the Elimination final. And the ground's in good conditions under threatening skies. It's Werribee who finished on top of the table last season. They've sneaked in with their win last week to finish 4th on the ladder against Box Hill, who finished 5th on the table. Their season hasn't been as good as last year's either. It's sudden death here at Port Melbourne today. Hasn't been a good day so far at Port for Box Hill. They've had teams in all 3 grades. In the under-19s, Oakley thrashed Box Hill by 112 points, and in the reserves, it was a victory to Frankston by 45 points over Box Hill. So 2 of the Mustangs outfits have finished their seasons. 1 more to go, and it's the one that counts, I suppose, in the seniors. Let's look at the senior ladder. This is how they finished up at the end of the home and away season. Clearly on top by 2 games, Sandringham, who have the week's rest, and they need it with some injury problems. Williamstown play Paran tomorrow in the qualifying, and Werribee finished on top of Box Hill by just 1.6%. They both won 10 games this season. Last season, Werribee won 15 and 12 to Box Hill. Here's the Box Hill as we look at the other half of the ladder. Port Melbourne with the team that missed out on the 5, but right down to Frankston, and they were just 3 games out of playing in the final. So a very close season, and I think that will be reflected in the final series. It should be a beauty. Box Hill lineup for today's game. They've had Holt, Dwyer, Ellison, Irwin miss out on the interchange bench of the team that was selected in the press. The lineup exactly as it was in yesterday's paper, although I think the Box Hill Brains Trust might be playing their cards pretty close to their chest. Well, they've lost 3 games coming into the finals, but coach Shane Malloy in his press statements and at the selection table hasn't seemed unduly concerned.
No, not really. I think we've been a bit slack in our approach to the game, and the players, we've worked on that. We're encouraging them today to be very attacking, and we think that, as I said, we're good enough to win the game. It's as simple as that. Neither
team's forward lines have been able to string together big scores this season. You've got Jared, your son, up there at full forward against a very good back line. Your back line's good as well. Everyone's saying the forward line, the one that fires today, will be where it's won. Do you think you've got the ammunition there?
Yeah, I think we do. I dispute. We've kicked quite a few big scores during the year. It's always been a shared situation. Right. We've concentrated on that. We acknowledge we haven't got big gun forwards, but we've done well enough to kick some good scores during the year. We've got a good tight back line. And you're right, whoever kicks the best score obviously wins the game, but we're pretty confident we can do it today.
Here's the Werribee lineup. Out of the team, Ian Wilson with flu. Bad luck for him. Spearings has come in, and Ricky Knight is out from last week's winning team to make way for Dallas Normington, returning from injury. Well, it was a big game last week. They defeated the ladder leaders Sandringham to make it into the finals, Werribee, and I put it to their coach Leon Harris that must have taken a lot, both physically and mentally, out of his team.
Oh, I think they'll come out better players because of it. I think the win and very close to the end of the siren and that, so I think the atmosphere around the place has been very good, and I think it'll be a benefit more than a hindrance to us.
You're 1-1 against Box Hill this season. Only, 4 weeks ago they did beat you. What did you learn from that game?
Yeah, they did beat us at Box Hill, and probably their endeavour at the ball was a lot greater than what ours was on that day, and the conditions did deteriorate during the course of the game. So I know it's 1-1. We had a good win earlier in the year against them, so I think we can look positively today, and hopefully we can come out on top.
And with me, as usual, Phil Cleary and Sam Kekovich. We're looking positively towards this final series. Should be a great culmination to a terrific close season.
I think it'll be a fabulous beginning to what promises to be a wonderful final series. And I'm just marginally going for Werribee. I don't know what you think, Phil, but I think Box Hill's lead-up form has been terrible, losing their last 3 games to Dandenong, Springvale and Port Melbourne. It's not the sort of form you like to bring into a final series. But I just believe, as you rightfully mentioned to Malloy, that the forward line's been a problem. Their back line's quite competent. Their midfield's quite good with Dalrymple and the like. But I just feel Werribee, experienced campaigners, and they're playing well at the right time of the year. Having beaten Sandringham recently, I just think they've got too many guns up forward, Philip.
Well, Sam, I've been tossing it up and down there for quite a while. I'm just not sure, but now I know which way to go. I'm going for Box Hill because Sam's picked Werribee.
Ross Booth, good afternoon.
Yeah, I think on the strength of that, I might go for Box Hill too. I haven't been able to make up my mind. You can see that rain is falling. I've rung the Bureau, only a millimetre forecast to be drizzle. Frank Lestapatti's won the toss for Werribee, and they'll kick to the right of screen, but it's hard to know which is the favoured end. The umpires, Steve Luckman and John Harvey. John Harvey we know from years ago. Should be a great one.
Roscoe, is that a millimetre? Is that 4 points in the old?
4 points in the old stuff.
Thank you.
Well, it's Box Hill going from left to right, and well, I think we should all make our tips known. I'm going to go for Box Hill too, even though everyone has written them off.
No, I'm going for Box Hill too.
Well, actually,
I am now.
That makes it 3-1 here amongst the commentators.
I'm going for Werribee and to win comfortably.
Well,
I think it's a big ask of young Jared Malloy playing on a tough and uncompromising defender in Linton Fitzpatrick. You know, an experienced bloke. It's a big job.
Free kick was won by Dalrymple and handed it off, and James has taken the mark, but a bit of shepherding there in the pack.
By kicking on that side of the ground.
Danny Burke wearing that lovely dressing gown. Free kick going the way of Eames.
Yeah, and that was good, courageous play by Eames too.
Last year's Liston medalist, this year's winner Joe Rigolo, and we'll be replaying highlights of the medal count at half-time in today's game. As Eames is going to line up, he thinks the breeze is favouring. We've seen one travel a long distance from this area. He's made it close enough to goal to kick one. Great play on the left foot. Roughed up after he's kicked it, but now gets well out of there. The score will count, a major. And it's on now at centre-half forward.
Peter, I think he's actually going to be given another kick for an incident after the goal. Anthony Eames, he was hit again after he kicked the ball. There's a little bit of animosity between Eames. Couldn't pick up the Box Hill player, but he's actually received another kick.
So does that mean it's 2 goals?
Yes, 2 goals.
How long since we've seen that happen?
1948, I think, after war, Pete.
Well, in fact, Peter, he'd already kicked the goal.
Yes.
It had been, the umpire had signalled all clear, and as he was going back, the Werribee player, who could be the Box Hill player who could be tagging him, gave him another little buffeting. And umpire Harvey picked it up. I think
and what great umpiring, Phil,
well, indeed, the first free had been paid by umpire Luckman.
But all these grey areas that crept in our game, if the umpires showed the same amount of conviction as Harvey did and pay the free kick, it would stamp out all those nasty little indiscretions that are starting to evolve.
And Sam, before the match, Box Hill were there's Penny getting one high, worked very hard on their aggression. It hasn't worked so far with those 2 goals. They're really aggressive at each other in the rooms. Penny gets Box Hill to half forward. Over the back is Walsh. Should relieve. Good tackle, Dalrymple. Interception, Malloy, a snap at goal and a throw. What is it? Yep. By Luckman, sees a throw.
This is very good umpiring today, Sam. You made the point, I made the point about the 2 umpires. I've seen them during the year and they really know what they're doing. But Luckman there could have given the advantage but decided to give it back to O'Neill, was it?
Dalrymple.
Sorry, Dalrymple.
Simon Dalrymple.
Well, Box Hill's fortunes will certainly ride heavily on this guy's shoulders. Arguably one of the most talented in the competition. Gets a swathe of possession and excellent in distribution. Always finds a target. And like his counterpart on the other side, Eames, is quite proficient in kicking goals.
And I think they're kicking to the scoring end slightly. Dalrymple, 11 votes in the Liston, kicks their first goal, and they needed that one pretty badly. Up those 2 goals to Anthony Eames.
Well, it was an important steadier to get themselves on the board early, but you made that point regarding, and here we see this throw, yes, no doubt. Good umpiring, the open hand. You must have the clenched fist. But the other thing, it was a good point you brought up, Ross, regarding the aggression. Aggression is a vital ingredient, but by the same token, it has to be controlled aggression. You can't just throw your weight around indiscriminately. Cool minds need to prevail.
Beale feeding it out to Crowley. Nick Walsh.
Doing well.
Yes, making up for that unfortunate throw of a moment or 2 back and finding Geary up on centre wing. Good central kick. Cullen's been paid.
Beautiful positioning kick.
And they've got them caught here because Eames has drifted down quickly. Moving the ball very quickly there, Werribee, and Box Hill were always on the back foot. Couldn't cover, and he's going for 3 goals in the first quarter, Anthony Eames.
I think Clinton Watson might have that job, Phil.
Yes, I think he has.
Was he the culprit?
I think he was.
Well, Eames a far better player where he's got scope to move in, especially that centre suits him to a nicety. Bit hamstrung in that back pocket.
He's got 3. What a start from the 91 Liston medalist.
Yes, well, we've seen him turn on some great performances. We saw him here one day a couple of years back kick about 6 goals in the last quarter after moving from the back pocket. Knows how to kick a goal. He's a very good runner and a beautiful technique when kicking the ball.
That's when he was playing for Brunswick, I think.
Indeed it was,
yes.
Ross.
Just from the nominated side.
Umpire Luckman, losing his footing was Lyle. Ground conditions pretty good, though. Peter Burke, long. Great goal, Peter Burke, and the Mustangs hit back. Well, he pounced on that, Sam.
Yes, excellent pasture play. Quick hands here by Box Hill. We'll see it on replay. But Peter Burke, another one of the skillful contingent in this Box Hill side. They're running players, and that was tremendous play by Dal Rimple again. He's always at the base of the packs, and as I mentioned earlier, he always utilises every possession.
Burke there to help out. Cullen comes in. Does very well. Burke charges down his handball. Good vision from Cullen. Spotted Rayburn. More importantly, found him with a foot pass. Walsh well up. They could get caught here, Werribee. Ball very hard to gather now. Well, I think that should have been let go initially, but the free kick was paid. Advantage now sees it up with Bond.
Bond, who was initially selected at centre-half back.
In towards Eames. It's come through to Fraser Murphy. This is a goal. 4 goals straight from Werribee to 2 straight from Box Hill. Balance. He's got a chance. Won't score with that. O'Neill tried to pull his opponent out of the way.
Well, it's an excellent standard of game, isn't it? Brilliant opening. Finals are normally, you know, just tight encounters in the opening minutes, both sides sussing each other out, and it's normally a bit scrappy.
Box Hill in the goal square. Against Bond, is it? In the back. The ruck infringement. Gee, he was leaping at the ball. I wonder if we'll see that on replay. Umpire, here it is.
Oh, gee, I don't know about that. That's not a free.
Just standing his ground.
He was penalised for getting up too high.
Is that in the rule book, Peter?
Sure. Well, what else would... I couldn't see what the problem was there.
It's 5 goals to 2. Werribee lead. Box Hill perhaps with a favoured end. 15 minutes gone. It's now 5-3 as Badrock puts it through. With a lucky free, I guess we'd have to say.
Yeah, soft free.
I think we'd have to ask Bill Dalla just for a clarification on that free kick. Bond was up high, the knee was on the shoulder, but you're allowed to do that in a ruck duel, I would have thought.
I'll tell you what, it's always nice when you're a forward against a tight defence to get one of those under your belt early doors. It'll give Badrock a lot of confidence. We've seen him in previous matches during the course of the year.
Yes, well, Bond's the centre-half back as Fitzpatrick kicks in.
Well, he got it to the wing. The wind is favouring the Williamstown Road end, to which Werribee are kicking in this turn. It's Butterford. Still plenty of carry on that kick.
Oh, yes.
Free kick will go the way of Malloy, I think.
I tell you what, Peter, this kid has got a lot of potential. The way he backed into Fitzpatrick then showed all the poise of a more experienced player. He's a very strong mark overhead. Look at him backing back. Now, that's smart play, Sam, isn't it?
Yes, and what I'm impressed by, too, he's not intimidated by the more experienced campaigner.
And he's got his first goal of the day.
Well, he's got a touch of brilliance about him, Sam. Big leap and very strong hands.
In comes O'Neill. He'll paddle onto the man. He got the hand pass to the running Butterford. Long to half forward. Crowley in front. Roving is Penny. Shot at goal coming up from Matt Penny. Thump he goes. He may well have kicked it. Yes, he has. And Box Hill have hit the front at the 26.5-minute mark.
Well, it's been a big effort by Box Hill too, and you consider that Anthony Eames got two goals from one piece of play. Butterford there, and Butterford puts the ball right in the spot there. Look at Penny, the dash. And from about 49 metres, that is a great goal. And we're seeing a very, very good game of football.
Great motivator too. All day pulls it over the back into the corridor. Daly, a dangerous one. Sheehan overrunning it. Rayburn.
It's a goal.
It is from Sheehan.
somewhat fortuitous, but nevertheless, they still count.
Scores level. O'Neill didn't get to him. Interception by Lesapati. Rayburn looking for a hand pass. No one there. Geary goes to ground. No pressure. Over the top was good. Murphy, good quick hands to Cameron Wright. Uses his pace. Goal coming up for Werribee from Cameron Wright. That is beautiful football.
What a wonderful cut-out hand pass by Murphy.
Well, you're dead right, Sam.
You might see it here that he picked the right man to handball to, and didn't Wright show explosive pace over the first, well, about 3 or 4 metres.
Geary, and Murphy cuts out Eames in between him and Wright. And Wright, once he set sail for goal, there's nothing going to stop him kicking the major.
34.5 minutes gone. At Port Melbourne. Lesapati with a double fist. Watson goes down with his man Eames. Up he gets, loses it. He likes to get on the right foot. He may well have kicked it out on the full. No left foot there.
It was a good individual effort, though, to keep it in and battle so hard.
Terrific first quarter in the cutthroat elimination. Werribee kicked 2 goals before, well, really, with the one forward push after it was Eames kicking a goal. He was downed after he kicked it and got another one to get the Tigers off to a great start. But Box Hill had the better of the latter half of the quarter before Werribee got that final goal from Wright to take back the lead. Eames has kicked 3 goals, Murphy 2, Sheehan and Wright 1 apiece, while for Box Hill, all single goal kickers, Malloy, Dalrymple, Badrock, Penny and Peter Burke. It's quarter time here at Port Melbourne in the elimination final, and Werribee lead Box Hill by 5 points. Well, that was a bit soft, that one.
Yes, I thought it was, Peter.
Button played for it and got it. He's going to go long now. He's caught them napping here. What a great kick. Andrew Button gets the first goal of the second quarter.
The singing engagement he had tonight, I think he can cancel that.
McMaster. Stokes runs into Swan. Beale. Brosnahan can knock it through to a teammate, Butterfin. Instead goes back to Watson. Wheeling around onto his right. He won't want to kick it with his left foot. He's found the lead. Crowley about 40 metres out from goal. I think he thinks he's too far out to kick it, but his teammate Dalrymple telling him to settle down. Nice kick.
Oh.
And here's Peter Burke left unattended.
Now, Ross, that wind, did you pick it? The Bureau made a mistake, have
No, they didn't. I listened to you as I was coming around the ground, and I thought, what a load of rubbish. Look, it's not that strong to the right-hand end. It's across the ground. Slight advantage, but it's nowhere near as strong as you're making out.
Now Burke going for his second goal.
It's in.
Touch and go. But he's got it. So that cancels out the goal kicked from the free kick by Andrew Button. That was the 7th goal kicked from free kicks today by Andrew Button. And Crowley, who never looked like he wanted to kick the ball, and I think the Werribee players should have been awake up to that.
He certainly did not want to kick it, did he?
A goal, I mean, not the ball.
I don't think he was ever having trouble working out whether he wanted to kick the ball or not, but Peter Burke snuck in, and that's a very important goal into the breeze.
O'Neill. And then Normington gives away the free.
Oh, she's nearly put the ball out of the ground.
A lot of kicks off the ground have gone out in the full today. Butterfin will take the free kick.
Bomber James trying to get on his left foot there, but had to go back to Butterfin.
Put this out in front of goal, it might nearly blow in. Oh, he's done it. I knew that was in his mind because I've seen him kick goals like that before. At Box Hill, he kicked a beauty one day in the wet.
Well, it was a great goal. It's so important, Sam, is it when things are just a little tight, someone to pull something big out, and a goal like that from Butterfin to give them the lead from a situation where you don't expect the goal to be kicked.
Moment. Eames running onto a difficult angle.
I'll tell you the player who Werribee are missing badly, and that's Ian Wilson.
There's Trevor Barker up there at the back of the stand with Ricky Knight from Werribee on his right, who dropped out of the side this week.
I think Warwick Angus going to get the pose. Daryl Fenton, the reserves coach, former Werribee player. I made that mistake, Phil. Werribee about a 3. 2 goals offside, 1 up half forward. Badrock tackled by Fitzpatrick, and they get one back.
Fantastic football by Jared Malloy.
The Stangs are back in front by 5 points.
What a great performance. See, this kid can play, you know. 16 is he, Ross? Years of age, and he plays at times like a vet. Look at that for a bit of play. I think the father's trained him well.
Certainly has.
Badrock onto it. Big bloke, Badrock, but he really steamed down and picked it up.
Kick, and Penny was able to get a fingernail to it.
Oh, well,
he's beaten 2 of them there. Matt Penny.
That is
It's a goal.
unbelievable football, Matt Penny.
Great recovery.
Oh, what pace and what agility. That is a dazzling piece of work. I tell you, you wouldn't see a goal better than that anywhere.
He was 2 out here. Look at the
Any standard of football.
Before that, he stopped the mark by getting a fingertip on it.
Exactly. And look at the kick from about 55. Magnificent play, Matt Penny. Tell what, Peter, just commenting on the ruck work, you watch all day at the centre bounce, he looks at Lyle before he jumps, and because he knows Lyle's got the reach.
Certainly that's worried Werribee.
Well, some people said that they're a bit soft, Box Hill. They've really turned the tune on that one.
That's been laid to rest, Phil. It's a fallacy.
I didn't mean it was you, Ross, which I was looking at you. I was just exchanging thoughts with you. And Richie Rayburn's been pinched.
Brett Stokes was a man on the ground. And Lesapati was reprimanded for last week for an incident on Anthony Allen, and Box Hill lost Brendan Hogan.
And Jared O'Neill got off, didn't he?
And Jared O'Neill got off there. Stokes heading for the line.
Good precaution, actually. Score to Dalrymple.
No, it had to be a free to Box Hill.
I think Watson's grabbed high.
He's paid advantage. I mean, from there he's going to kick a goal, probably.
Yeah. Fitzpatrick spots Cameron Wright. He's up early, but siren's gone for half-time here, with Box Hill leading by 18 points.
Yes, they've outscored Werribee 5 goals to 1 in that quarter. Goal kickers for Box Hill, 2 apiece to Malloy, Badrock, Penny and Burke. Single to Butterford and Dalrymple, while for Werribee, 3 to Eames, 2 to Murphy, all in the first quarter. Wright and Sheehan got goals in the first term. Button, the only goal kicker for them in that quarter. So from a 5-point deficit at quarter time, Box Hill now 18-point leaders. It's half time here at Port Melbourne. You're watching the VFA Elimination Final. 3 goals in front are the Mustangs. Butterford knocks on. Watson. See how he gathers the ball in so well. It's a low centre of gravity. Good hands. Likewise from Stephen James. Long, fast lead comes from Malloy. But it wouldn't have got to him, so O'Neill did the right thing. The other Jared chipping in.
Gee, that's been a good move too. That's worked wonders on him on the wing. Big, tall, running player.
Well, it was great vision by Bomber James, and what a beautifully placed pass it was.
From 40 metres, Jared O'Neill.
Hard part of the exercise this. He'll get the distance, but not renowned for his accuracy. Oh.
Not too much wrong with that one. Opening goal of the quarter. Relieved, I think, Jared O'Neill. Spent most of his career in the back line. That's his first.
Kicked that as though he played up forward all his life. That was a fine kick by James. Pinpoint precision. And O'Neill. What a wonderful conversion. Not renowned for his accuracy, but certainly on that occasion, certainly up to the mark.
To Watts. Running through the corridor, McMaster. Back to Watts. On the left foot. Curling round with a breeze. Oh, good mark for Fitzpatrick.
Yes, well, he's capable of doing that, and that was a good move. He was the one player most likely to place up forwards. A fine overhead. Plenty of carry on the ball. The Box Hill defence underneath it and judged nicely by Fitzpatrick.
It could be a little tall for Jim Beale down there too.
Not to mention strength.
Needless to say, it's his first shot at goal.
Ever?
Oh no, he's had a shot two before. He enjoys a goal, Linton.
And he gets it. So one each in the third quarter. Brings the margin back to 18 points.
Couldn't take possession. Rayburn's caught. Tackler was Watson. It spilled loose to Dalrymple. He finds James. A number of players going past. 6 marks for Stephen James. They're all calling for it back in the square. In short, Clinton Watson. Hoofs it from 50. A little nudge from Malloy. It's nearly gone through. It is a goal to Badrock. 3 goals for Zach Badrock, but again Malloy just broke up the pack on the line there with an out-and-out shove.
Well, Clinton Watson's pulled out one of his biggest ever kicks, I reckon. That's gone 50 metres, and you're right, Peter. Malloy was very clever again. And Zach, Johnny on the spot. Zach Badrock, Sam, put it through.
Playing in front.
Play on it will be called. Touched off the boot. Ryan's handball. Oh, wasn't a good one. Crowley was there. Malloy! From no run-up, he has pulled down a skyscraper. And he's come down hard too. Jared Malloy. Oh, ankle, do you think, or knee?
I don't know whether he's just cramped or he's hurt.
Lack of oxygen, I think.
No, I think it will be... I think it is cramped because I saw him earlier on when he ran out.
Yeah, he was. That
grabbed his leg, but that is a huge mark from no run-up.
Well, he's got that leap, Pete. That's why I said earlier that he's just got a real touch of class. He's going to go on and be a great footballer. The ability to leap from a standing start.
Haven't we been able to unearth some full forwards in the VFA?
I just think you think of Rowan Welsh.
Rowan
he's
Welsh,
gone on this.
Scott Semester at Springvale, a youngster, and now young Malloy. Certainly all got the ability to go on.
I don't think this is as bad as it might look, because about 5 minutes ago, Phil, he went out to take his position from a kick in, and he grabbed his leg. I thought hamstring initially, but then he ran off it.
And this intelligent too by David Butterfint to grab the ball.
Bomber James was wrestling with him.
Well, I say it's not as bad as it looked, but
I don't know.
have to go out.
No, you're a good judge,
He's
Peter.
landed pretty awkward though, but then it's his left.
That's right.
Left leg, which didn't seem to.
It's Butterfint who's kicked the goal. Yes. David Butterfint took the free kick there and put the goal through.
Close in shot of umpire Luckman. 23 minutes gone.
Oh, Lyle, brilliant.
To Dalrymple, to Butterfint. Lesaputty, there's the mark. It comes down to Matt Penny. Pass towards Danny Burke. Penny can handball. Burke can go onto a man in the square. Crowley kicks the goal instead. That's his third.
Gee, their teamwork has been just wonderful today. Their vision's been great. They've worked very hard together, and they're always prepared to give it to a player who's in a better position. We'll see. Matt Penny, hasn't he been a dazzler today? I don't know whether I've seen him play any better than he is playing today. And Burke, well...
So determined was he to get a clean possession for his team. Indiscriminate use of the body by Ryan. The free kick was paid. It's now advantage. Penny hoisted high. Crowley!
Oh, yeah.
He's been paid.
What great use of the body by Crowley.
There's a little bit of G. Ablett about that one. Leaning back and hurling it in with one hand. Don't know whether he had it.
I reckon he's a bit lucky there. More than a bit lucky.
It's his first goal. Well, Werribee rallied for a little while. 2 goals from Lytton Fitzpatrick, but they've been answered. Box Hill bounce it back again through Jim Beale. Burke, Danny Burke will be paid the mark.
Well,
Beale streaming through midfield really demonstrates the confidence and prepared to back their judgment in Box Hill. And look at this fine mark too by Danny Burke.
well, Burke for Malloy. Not a bad move.
I wonder if they've got a third full forward in the camp.
Off interchange, Danny Burke for his first goal. Go Stangers, they call from the grandstand, and they've done just that. All smiles in the Box Hill camp.
It's certainly playing with a lot of confidence, Phil.
Oh,
They saw Beale coming through midfield, really back his judgment, leave his defender and attack the ball. Look at this fine overhead. Eyes firmly transfixed on the ball. Steel in the fingers and the conversion.
Great mark taken by Swan. Going past is Robin Daly. Badrock. What a kick.
Great football.
And Daly continued on. Advantage is played. Badrock. Penny. It's gone from the back pocket to half forward without a Werribee player looking like touching it. Maybe a hand in there from Spearings. Burke feeds it out. O'Neill gets his second goal. Brilliant play, Box Hill.
Well, gee, Peter, you know, this side really has turned it on today to take the ball from the back line with a great mark under pressure, hand it off, Daly running, Penny, and then Burke, beautiful handball to O'Neill. What more could a coach ask for? Copybook stuff, and they look very, very good.
Werribee looking shattered. Last week's has taken its toll. Trevor Barker, coach of Sandringham. It's cold out there now too. He's rubbing his hands, perhaps looking forward.
That lady in front is just knitting a pair of mittens for him, so he'll be okay. They're in sandy colours.
Have him by grand final day.
So 62 points. Boy, it was 18 points at half time. They'd had 8 goals to 2. O'Neill through the legs. Strong paddle it was. Lesapati ran into Brosnahan.
Oh.
Held it too long.
Hasn't their tackling been fierce?
It's now 10-1 out of the middle. Up to Danny Burke. Darryl Taylor didn't have the body strength against Burke. Burke, the replacement full forward for Jared Malloy, off with, we think, cramp. Severe cramp, obviously. Jared Malloy having kicked 3 goals along with Peter Burke and Zach Badrock. Burke kicks truly. Well, that's 9 for the quarter, and Danny Burke second. Hill. McMaster, Normington misses it. Butterford, he's got pace. Oh, McMaster did well. Butterford got the hand pass away to Peter Burke into the pocket. Danny Burke won't get there in time.
Just able to get the ball forward at all times. When they're under a little bit of pressure, they still get the ball on the boot. There's Jack Marshall from Dandenong.
With the VFA personnel, Martin Stillman in the middle there, and Sally Calderwood from VFA House just behind him. Oh, high tackle?
No, I don't agree with that.
No.
Free kick.
What Jack thought.
That could be just about ready to start pre-season shortly after he dispenses with that
Philip
convivial
from Dandenong. I think it was Philip Partington from Dandenong next to Jack Marshall.
Now Stephen James, who has kicked a goal in the quarter.
Is that a good term, James?
Should have kicked a few of these for training.
The banana kick.
I don't know whether he should have elected for that. He was about 7 or 8 metres in from the boundary line.
Not the best option.
Well,
lucky for the free kick, I thought.
They've more than doubled Werribee now at Box Hill. 65-point leaders.
Walsh, Lesapati paddling it on. Peter Burke, another possession. Brosnahan hooks it back into the square. Burke free kicked. He was ridden into the ground by Walsh as the siren sounds for the 3/4 time break. 34.5 minutes have elapsed. Burke has kicked 2 goals in the term. And if you can kick this one, it'll be Box Hill's 10th for the third quarter.
I know been under siege constantly, the Werribee defence, but by gee, they're in total disarray, aren't they? Total disarray.
So as players and spectators move onto the ground, Danny Burke, after the siren for his third of the term, and he did it without any problem whatsoever. So that makes it 10 goals for the Mustangs in this third quarter.
Danny Burke kicked 3 after replacing Jared Malloy, who went off after a huge mark. He kicked 3 in the first 3 quarters. Burke equalled that in about 15 minutes. The other goal kickers for the leaders with 3 are Badrock and Peter Burke, 2 apiece to Butterfant, Penny, O'Neill. So again, a team goal kicking effort from the Mustangs. While for Werribee, 2 goals in that quarter kicked by Lyndon Fitzpatrick. Eames hasn't added to the 3 he kicked in the first term, or Fraser Murphy, the 2 he kicked in the first quarter. So after leading by 18 points at half-time here at Port Melbourne, it's a 71-point lead for Werribee over Box Hill over Werribee. Harris, what can he possibly pull out of the hat here with his team facing elimination?
They'll be looking at the scoreboard every time we get a goal. So basically, you just gotta keep working and working to have a little bit of respect in your own performance. A little bit of respect in your own performance. Otherwise, it's going to be a long summer.
Fire up, come on.
No, really down the middle. Or we can really get in and have a tip. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what changes we make. We've made quite a few. It doesn't matter. The people around the guts of the ball, the guys that we've relied on so heavily during the course of the year, it's just been a second to the ball. Second to the ball. Let's go.
Yeah, well, that's what you've said all day, Sam.
Well, there's a touch of resignation about his delivery there, wasn't there?
I think we might have a bit of spring weather before the final series is out. It's been a cold and wet day early on. Very close first quarter, but it's been all Box Hill since then. Trying to work an opening now. Good shepherding there from James for Peter Burke. Penny in from the side.
Some of his players just absolutely superb today. Big marking, strong, playing tight, great running. Deserves a goal.
Good kicking.
Not quite the legs on it. It's a mark for Zach Badrock. He could have gone and kicked the goal there, I think, but no, just settle it down.
Pretty handy sort of player. Zach, isn't he?
North Ringwood, was it he came from?
North Ringwood is more than handy. He just stood out like a beacon, he has.
Lost your words there.
That's his 4th goal from his 17th possession.
Well done, Phil.
Took out like a dog's beacon.
Yeah.
But look at this, he just brushes the inept defence aside here, one-handed. Thank you very much. I'll hold on to this. There's no point in playing on. I'll go back and play the percentages.
A little bit of a think about what I'll do with it.
And a smile on his face too.
Cullen.
It's a fine snap.
Bit of a face saver for Werribee. Mark Cullen gets his first goal of the match.
Restores the faith among the faithful.
Difference as it was at 3/4 time, 71 points. 15 possessions from Mark Cullen. He's tried hard today, but things just haven't run for him. The ball's bounced the opposite direction, or he's lost possession at the last moment, but good and quick there.
Back to 71 points, as it was at 3/4 time. Watts. Inside 50. Bill is first there. Got a bad bounce. Swan was thrown off it. There's Bond. Well, courage from him. Back on the ground with a chest injury. Around the corner. Underneath it. Gee, held up in the breeze. Daly. Oh, Bond making a goal. Hooked it a bit much, I fear.
No.
No, he didn't. Well done, Jamie Bond. Certainly his courage after a nasty injury to his chest.
Is this the start of a comeback, Roscoe?
Well, I don't think it's a comeback good enough or be big enough to win, as we see Daly stumbling after the ball. And Bond, usually better known as a defender. 20 possessions as Butterfant gets the Mustangs over centre wing. Peter Burke Good vision. Badrock will give it back to Burke. No, he won't. He's given it to nobody except Werribee. McMaster. Badrock looks a bit tired. McMaster hasn't had the best of days. Man of the match last week. Out to Rayburn. This is what Werribee's known for, although better linking up than that. Cameron Wright. Good long kick into the centre. Eames is up and taken a magnificent mark. Oh, he was up before acceptances and a couple of juggles over Mark Lyle.
You don't see too many players, when they lose the ball in mid-air, then look to see where it is. They usually just grasp around and hope they have it, but he knew exactly where the ball was.
So Eames kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. And another one for 4. Sensational start to him when he had 2 goals on the board. Kicked a goal, then was infringed, and the umpire gave him another kick. So we see this mark from a different angle.
Well, he's up really early, and he stays there. And as just Peter said, he looks around for it mid-air and plucks it.
Still going. 5th mark for the quarter to Taylor. Wright is caught, got clear with strength. Burke in the clear, inside 50, off the side of the bit. Was he looking for a man? Let's give him the benefit. Oh, Jared O'Neill, fine mark and another goal. His 3rd.
Oh, Peter Burke, he's been a powerhouse for Box Hill today, hasn't he?
Werribee, Lamont. Peter Burke just drags him down.
Oh, what a game he's played.
What an inspiration he's been. So, and here's the mark for Simon Dalrymple.
Not far behind him.
Find a bad player in the Box Hill lineup.
There's the coach.
Oh,
still an eager look on his eye. Shane Malloy. O'Neill. He's relished the wing. Gee, that's casual off the left foot, and he's put it through for number 4 for him. Jared O'Neill, as casual as you like. He's not renowned as a great left foot kick, really. He's getting better, but that was fantastic.
Well, that's, you know, Ross, a couple of years ago, he really struggled on his right foot, Jared O'Neill's a point we made a lot. To go back and kick that, he's obviously done a lot of work on it, and the whole side is very skillful.
Well, also, he's played a lot of football in the reserves. He lost form and was dropped. And he's fought his way back.
And there he is on screen, the young fella.
All in
really important player. He was reported last week, unfortunately not suspended.
Taken by Linton Fitzpatrick, who's done time at both ends of the ground today. Spearings wobbles it to Eames, and that's a 50.
Wasn't much in it, but enough to warrant a 50-metre penalty. A bit silly by Mark Lyle, though. He wouldn't want to get pinched at the 27-minute mark of the last quarter. And the game's well and truly won.
Well, this is going to drag proceedings on for a little bit more than I think anybody wants now, because we've played 27 minutes, and meanwhile there's been a goal kicked.
Well, having a wrestle, and Eames has kicked the goal without a man on his mark.
That'd be his 5th goal, forcing the handball to go momentarily off target. Cullen. And there's Lyle, now just resting back in the pocket.
And a well-deserved rest it is too, Peter.
Torpedoes one right over the old grandstand. So, I don't know whether it be the most popular man with the property steward, but he has been an absolute tower of strength today in giving Box Hill first use of the ball. They've won by 66 points, so Werribee had the better of that last quarter, but it was all well and truly over. And the umpire's just having a word to Mark Lyle, who just forgot about the job at hand a little bit towards the end of today's match, but his job was well and truly well done. Goal kickers in a team effort from the Mustangs. 4 to Badrock and O'Neill, 3 apiece to Danny Burke, Peter Burke, Malloy and Butterfint with 2, Penny with 2, the other multiple goal kickers. 5 for Werribee's Eames and 2 to Fitzpatrick, the only men to get more than 1 goal today for the Bees, who bow out for the season. Very convincingly beaten today by Box Hill by 11 goals here at Port Melbourne. And soon you'll find out who our selection for the man of the match was, the VicSafe man of the match. A very difficult choice today. Not a bad player in the Mustangs lineup. And neither AFL score to wrap up the final scores today. Melbourne fighting Hawthorn all the way. So the Hawks winning today by 19 points. And Carlton playing, who was it? West Coast. Yes, West Coast tomorrow. So a lot resting on that game. Geelong finishing on top of the ladder with their win today. Box Hill now into the first semi-final against the loser of tomorrow's match between Paran and Williamstown. Ross Booth.
Well, with me is the Assistant Commissioner Gavin Brown of Victoria Police with the VFA tankard.
Yes, congratulations, Peter. Marvellous game.
Thanks
Very thoroughly deserved. If you're going to really produce that form in an elimination final, it's the best time to do it. Congratulations on behalf of Vic Safe.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Gavin. And Peter Burke, terrific game from you there. The keys to the Mazda.
Thanks,
You
mate.
must be very pleased.
Very, very pleased. So I'd just like to thank Mazda and Vic Safe for, you know, putting on all this gear and that. And we've just got to look forward to next week now.
Well, we were split 3-1 in terms of the voting, and Mark Lowe was featured heavily in Sam Kekovich's voting, so I guess you'd have to give him a vote of thanks for giving a good ride there.
Thanks a lot. I'd like to thank him. He doesn't do a bad job.
And all your little men were good today. Clinton Watson and some of you were so hard at the ball. How was it coming up into this match after losing 3 in a row? You couldn't have been that confident.
We were very confident. You know, like we've gone through a rough trot at the moment and that. Everyone stuck by us, the match committee, everyone, all the supporters, they've all stuck by us. So we're showing them a little bit back now over the last 3 weeks.
Okay, terrific. Peter Burke, our Vic Safe man of the match.
And our Super Boot Award for the goal of the day also going to a Box Hill player. Number 20 there, Matthew Penny. Watch the hand in here when 2 Werribee players looked to be raffling the ball between them. He sneaked in, took it away, and then kicked it from just outside the square. 55-metre goal. One of the excellent individual pieces of play today. We saw some fantastic marks, some great goals, but in the overall analysis, a team performance from Box Hill today, and they not only won their way into the first semi-final, they will have put a few scares, I think, through the teams above them.
Well, they're very impressive. In fact, I didn't think they could play quite as well as that. I had a few question marks over them, but their attack at the ball was just wonderful. And Shane Malloy's really should receive a bit of credit. I think he's built a great side. I mean, last year they were in amongst it, but today they were just really terrific. You know, I think as a coach you'd be delighted with the way they really went after the ball. Great teamwork, good commitment.
Ross Booth might even have him.
I don't know who you're talking about. I've got Shane Malloy, the Box Hill coach. Well done, Shane.
Thanks very much, Ross. The players did us proud. They worked fantastically hard and really bounced back in the best way possible.
Yeah, terrific. And one of those was Matt Penny, moved the forward line. That was one of the moves you were keeping up your sleeve.
Yeah, oh well. They thought they'd better put me there. I don't know what the reasoning was, but it seemed to pay off.
Just checking, is it the violin or the flute you play? Or the fiddle?
Oh, I don't know. I'll leave it up to you.
No, I'm not sure. I thought it was a violin.
Yeah, it was.
It's a violin. Okay. Zach Baddock, terrific strength shown by you at centre half forward.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Just good to have a win on the board and get things going again.
Had a bit of rest at the end.
Oh yeah, legs were getting a bit tighter, so a bit of a break at the end, which was good.
Terrific. And Mark Lyle, a great game in the ruck by you against a very good opponent, Dark Alday.
Yeah, he is. He battles really hard and he's strong. But we were just happy to win. I wasn't really worried about my own performance as long as the team got up. But had to prove a couple of things. Everyone written us off, including Sam and Phil upstairs. So we're happy to win. We'll keep on going. We'll show a few more people yet.
Okay, Drew, this is not Zachary, is it?
No, this is Jordan. You get that wrong every time.
Jordan. Okay, thanks, Mark Lyle. Get that wrong all the time. Box Hill, of course, pretty happy.
Well, Zach's exactly the way I thought he'd be, laconic and laid back and a jovial big man, like big men are normally.
Well, I got to tell Mark Lyle I tipped Box Hill before the game. Mark, I don't know what else you want me to do, but anyway.
Only in the last minute.
Well, that's all right. It's a reasoned decision. You've got to think these things through.
That's right.
But anyhow, just on Shane Malloy, I think he does deserve a pat in the back, you know, to show the faith that he has in his charges. He hasn't been phased for the duration of the last 3 or 4 weeks. When you consider their form, he hasn't panicked.
Hit the panic button.
Well, they could have easily made wholesale changes, but no, he didn't. He retained his composure, stuck with the boys, and they've really produced the bacon. It was terrific to see.
What about the good moves? O'Neill onto the wing and Penny onto the forward line. I mean, they were good, well thought out moves, and they paid dividends.
Takes a good side to beat them. Whoever beats them on today's show, he's going to have to be a very, very good side.
Well, it's going to be either Williamstown or Paran. Quick word about the qualifying final tomorrow.
Oh, I still lean towards Willie, but not with a great deal of conviction. Paran, they've been unpredictable, but they can really turn it on. So it's a line baller, but I'll stick with the Seagulls, Barry Round and my old mates.
Oh, I don't think we need to bother asking Sam who he's going to go for.
No, I am going for Paran, but as Phil
First
mentioned,
final since '79 in First Division for the two Blues.
It'll be a flip of the coin thing, but I just believe Paran. They haven't been there for a long time. They're playing very well. They've got a multi-pronged attack, and I expect that forward line associated with that midfield dominance, I think that they can exert through.
And your pre-match address, that'll just turn the scales.
I won't be addressing them tomorrow, but I expect them to perform very, very well and narrowly sneak home.
Word about Werribee. After that win in the President's Cup, a lot of people saying, well, the Premier's Cup. I'll get that one right in a minute too. I'm over at the...
Joan put in 50 grand too to the...
That's right.
You think you get it right.
I'm over in the States, but they said they had so many options up forward. Everyone said that how is anyone going to get near Werribee? And here they are eliminated.
It was a terribly disappointing year for them. I've spoken to a number of Werribee people, and when you consider their pre-season recruitment, they had Ironmonger. I know it didn't pan out. Fraser Murphy. Of course, injuries have played a significant role in their demise in terms of, you know, Chapman's been a terrible loss to them at centre-half back. But despite all that, they haven't shown me this year that they've been the Werribee of old. They haven't approached the game with the same degree of passion. They haven't been as committed. And I just don't feel that they've had the same deal of unity or composure in the side at any stage, Philip.
Sam, I don't think these days you can afford to put a player in the forward pocket permanently, virtually as Fraser Murphy is playing. Like, I think that it can unsettle it. That, you know, a small running play, he's got to be on the ball, and you know, so the game's changed now, and it's demanding.
All right, fellas, we'll have you back with us tomorrow as we look at the game that you'll be supplied with. It's live from Port Melbourne, the qualifying final between Williamstown and Paran from 2 o'clock. Hope you can join us for that one. First semi-final next week and the second on Sunday.